So, let us go back to SummerSlam. That's me getting in my time-traveling machine, which clearly needs a lot of work. And yes, you know it, I know it, everybody knows it. Becky Lynch, Trish Stratus, Raquel Rodriguez, and Rhea Ripley weren't on that show. And I thought this was a bit of a silly Billy decision. And now look, the Slam in the summer did go over 4 hours, so I don't want to squeeze any more matches into that premium live event because I don't think it would have worked. But you could still have 2 emotions at the same time and look on the other side of the fence and say, yeah, we should not have had those 4 women not involved. I do think that it does mean that WWE has a little bit of a dilemma on its hands, though. Why? Here's why. Now, the term dilemma may be a little bit too harsh, but as we know, once upon a time there was a hashtag that said give divas a chance, and within around about 12 to 18 months, all of a sudden the female wrestlers in WWE were being given more opportunities. And surprise, surprise, it was really great, and something we should have done a long time ago. For the first time since then, though, the online fan base especially are like, man, we're not 100% sure we agree with how you're booking the women, and look, this is the same with AEW as well. But as we are focusing on Raw and SmackDown, there are even accounts that will tweet out going, man, if you look at the running length of these shows, the women only got 8 minutes here and 8 minutes there, and when you compare it to the men, well, yeah, there's no parity at all. I mean, sometimes it's not even an 80-20 split, and maybe when we do venture into these waters, it's something that does need to be addressed. Now, of course, it's only fair to remember that we are in the star-making business, and it is a business at the end of the day, so these companies want to make money, so you are going to want to feature your tippity top stars the most. But that brings me to one person that we've already mentioned, Rhea flippin' Ripley. Now look, as of me talking to you, she is the WWE Women's Champion, so as far as I'm concerned, she should just be on SummerSlam. No ifs, no buts, no maybes. That kind of championship should be treated in the same light as the Universal Championship or the World Heavyweight Championship, and therefore, you find a space on the card and you just do it. When we do go back to the star power argument, have you been following her this year? Not only did she have that banger with Charlotte at WrestleMania 39, but anytime she's on Raw, the ratings increase, and then she went to NXT, and the same thing happened. So once again, we have something with her, so we should be pulling the trigger. So the proof is always in the puddings, and the numbers were heading in the right direction, which means 3 things. She's killing it behind the scenes because management can clearly see what's going on. She's killing it in front of the screens because we all know. And again, go look how much she smashes it on that there internet. People are super duper invested. So there is no debate for me. She should have been on this premium live event as much as Roman Reigns should have been on there. Like if you go to WrestleMania, SummerSlam, Survivor Series or the Royal Rumble, the head of the table will just be featured because of course he will. It should be the same with someone like Ripley. Now, I'm not advocating for this or saying it's the best idea, but actually, given the situation we did have, she could have run through Raquel Rodriguez for 2 reasons. 1, that's been Rhea's whole gimmick in 2023, so it would tie in. But 2, the damn story was that Raquel was injured, so Ripley could have taken advantage of that. The commentators could have told us the story. Well, that's not fair. She just pulled a fast one. So that means they didn't even need that much time, and you could have made an angle out of it, which arguably would have made this feud even hotter. I mean, watch this. Tss, ow. I shouldn't have done it. Now, it is a massive different conversation we do shift across to Trish Stratus versus Becky Lynch, because that was basically started at WrestleMania 39, so when you get to the big blow-off match, which I presume their SummerSlam contest would be, well, you've got to give them some serious time. I'd imagine that Zoe Stark would presumably have to be involved as well, so if you do rush it, well, it's just not going to work. That's wrestling. And I do understand that finding these minutes would have been tough, because again, go watch that Battle Royal from SummerSlam. I don't think you could have made it even shorter. And even Gunther versus Drew McIntyre for the Intercontinental title, well, that couldn't have gone more than 13 minutes. Brock Lesnar versus Cody Rhodes went about the same. However, as much as I did like our main event of Tribal Combat, I did think there were a couple of problems here. The first of which is that it just went so damn long. I don't think you ever need a 35-minute match when there's weapons involved. Just ring the bell, get a kendo stick, and start twonking people on the edge. And I get that it's the hottest thing in the company, so you do want to make sure that it feels momentous. But if we had shaved off even only 10 minutes, well, all of a sudden we've got a bit of a window. And where would the rest of the space come from? I'm going to tell you. Flippin' video packages. I do want to give credit to WWE because these mini productions are amazing, and if you want to be caught up on the story and just get super duper hyped, then nobody arguably does a better job. But these days, it was not the case back in the mid-90s. You get them on Raw, you get them on SmackDown, they're on Twitter or X, Instagram, TikTok. You can't get away from them. So when you do get to an event like SummerSlam and they show it for the 10th time, well, it's the law of diminishing returns. You probably go to the bathroom or you get a snack, You've seen it, and you don't need to see it again. This is why I think actually picking and choosing which of these packages you do show at the premium live events would help. Especially because one of them was for Trish Stratus versus Becky Lynch. Get rid of that and give it to them and put them in a match. And by the time you've seen this, you'll probably have seen them tangled on Raw, which is when it did get bumped to, and you just know it's going to be good because they've been doing great work. But again, we understand how wrestling comes together. If you do it on an event like SummerSlam, it just feels bigger. I don't know how we got here, but them's the rules. I ain't gonna break them. It's also not the best of look when two matches do get bumped from the SummerSlam card and they both do feature women, although fair play to Triple H. He did come out and say, well, actually, I never announced what matches were gonna be on that premium live event, so how could they be cancelled? And yeah, sure, that does work, but also, there's no smoke without fire, and there were a lot of rumors. Also, especially with Becky versus Trish, that just made sense. 2 + 2 = 4. This also extends to something like the women's tag team titles. Now look, I get it, these things are absolutely cursed at the moment, because Sonya Deville just got injured and more power to her, I hope she comes back soon. But when you do go through their history, on occasion, they have just vanished from TV to the point me, Simon Miller, a massive wrestling nerd, I forget about them because out of sight, out of mind. Now that isn't the most ringing endorsement. I mean, all know that Vince McMahon isn't a massive fan of any kind of tag team wrestling, which is why Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn don't feel as hot as they once did. But still, why even have them on your television if you're not going to get people to care? Like if I come on right now and I say, oh, nobody should care about me, do you know what your initial reaction is going to be? All right, fine, I don't care about you. That's just life. So really, we haven't picked a direction with this at all. It's just been so messy. And because of that, WWE lost out on Sasha Banks and Naomi as a big and is a big deal. So you can see why there is a bad taste in people's mouths, especially because let's bring in Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell. They too disappeared from TV, and one day they were just back again. No explanation. Nikki Cross's story with them was dropped too, and what the flub happened to Isla Dawn and Alba Fire? Tegan Nox is the same, back in the past Ember Moon never got her due. So all of this truly is a little bit baffling. And yes, once again, I totally understand you can't highlight everyone, but when you do drop multiple people simultaneously, well, eyebrows are gonna be raised. Can't really do it. And I really would any kind of wrestling promotion tries and fails as opposed to not try at all. Because look at somebody like Chelsea Green. She returned to World Wrestling Entertainment with this Karen character, and it was so damn entertaining, and it was so damn joyful, I have to imagine it's one of the reasons they were like, oh hi, you can team with Sonya, and you're gonna become the champs. I mean, in many ways you could argue they got the Iconics role, another pairing that never got their due, and it's entertaining. And as I will scream out until the day I die, this is all I really need from pro wrestling. I mean, it's great when you get 5-star serious match, but if you make me feel warm and fuzzy in my tum-tum, I'm a happy bald chap. Raw especially should have no excuses, because that is 3 hours long, so how can you not fit them in there? And because I know how the crazies work, I'm well aware that yes, AEW has been facing the same criticism. 3-minute matches at the top of the hour became the norm, which did frustrate some people, although again, credit where credit is due, my catchphrase to this video, as I am making it, the last 2 Dynamites were headlined by Shida winning the AEW World title, and then Shida defending the AEW World title. Hopefully they've listened, and hopefully they're going to move forward. And I suppose the one thing to not do is just drop things into the mud if it's not clicking straight away, because it should be the people's in charge's job to make us care. There's that word again. I mean, do you remember Santino Marella, who was often portrayed as a comedy character? When he got to the final 2 of that Elimination Chamber match and he was going at it with Daniel Bryan to become the world champion, people were desperate to fill this because for one reason or another, we had an emotional connection with the man. That's all you need to do. And the future really is bright too, because as well as the people I've already mentioned, you've got the likes of Tiffany Stratton, Roxanne Perez, Gigi Dolan, Cora Jade, Willow Nightingale, Sky Blue, Trish Adora. I'm just going to stop naming people there because I'll forget somebody and then I feel really, really bad. But this is top tier talent. They just need the opportunity. So it does feel like things are going to get better, but they can be better still. And I actually think that Triple H and Tony Khan will do this, because they're not stupid, they're actually very smart. So I shall give them my confidence and keep everything crossed. And look at it this way, the Bloodline story is going to wrap up eventually, even though some people don't think that it will. But when we're getting pieces in place for the next one, how about we take a bunch of women and go, oh hey, you can have the brand new Bloodline story. And I certainly wouldn't mind that at all. I do want to be a positive Pete though, so let's make sure we shout out the likes of Britt Baker and Charlotte Flair and Becky Lynch before all of this, and a bunch of others who are doing great work, and I'm very excited about the future for Shayna Baszler at the moment. But I do totally understand, I get why there is this discourse online, So let's come together, like we did many years ago, and make it happen again. Now, of course, there's going to be loads to say about this, so make sure you leave me a comment below. Click the video on the screen for another how/why video. That will be fun. Then like the video, share the video, and subscribe. Head over to whatculture.com where you can read articles like this and keep up to date with the latest wrestling news. Follow us on social media. And once again, just try and enjoy wrestling as much as you possibly can. I've been saying that on a lot of videos recently, but some people just get so sad about it. I'm like, life is sad. You got to make sure that wrestling is happy. Appreciate you stopping by. Take care of yourself. All the best. Stop doing salute head. See you soon.